Good morning and welcome everyone. I'm Arfa Khan.
And I'm Jawad Khan. Today we will be presenting the feasibility study of a proposed Zen hotel in the Texas Medical Center of Houston.
During today's presentation, we will be talking about the description of the subject property, market information, neighborhood, supply and demand, competitive set, occupancy and average rate, and in the end, we will talk about the 5-year pro forma financials.
The description of the Zen hotel. The feasibility study is for an upcoming independent hotel brand, Zen Hotels. This is the first property of the brand for the opening in the medical center of the Houston, Texas. Zen Hotel is a new brand which is planning to open its doors to the market in Houston Medical Center. The brand offers its guests a unique blend of modern lifestyles and home-like comfort experience. The hotel is planned to be designed and built according to LEED standards, which means working towards more sustainability and a greener hotel. It will be an independent upscale hotel located at 2424 Old Spanish Trail at Alameda Road. It will be a mere 30 minutes drive from the IAH via I-69 and 20 minutes drive from the Hobby Airport via I-610. The proposed facilities for the Zen hotels include a total of 200 guest rooms. The guest rooms will be of a standard size with modern furniture, built-in closets, desks, wide windows and automatic lighting. The room will have an iron board, coffee maker and complimentary water. The hotel will have wood panel flooring and vinyl walls. The room will be at par with the competition providing all services. The bathrooms in the hotel rooms will be of standard size, with glass shower area, commode, sink and vanity and mirrors. The bathroom amenities will include the standard toiletries. The hotel will consist of a rooftop restaurant with a 200 seating capacity, which will be ample for catering the needs of the guests. One of the interesting aspects of the restaurant will be that it will have its own herb garden, ensuring the best tastes possible. There shall be two meeting spaces of 1,000 square feet each, equipped with the latest technology, which will be able to accommodate small groups for their conferences and meeting needs. The hotel structure will be made of wood and finished with exteriors of brick. The interiors will also comprise of glass and stucco as needed. The building will be of 10 stories. All room windows will be double glazed to insulate against noise and heat. The building will be centrally air conditioned and heat will each room having its own thermostat. The hotel building will follow the general fire and safety guidelines of the state by providing fire alarms and emergency exits. The hotel entrance will lead the guests directly into a vast lobby area. The lobby will be designed in a way that all the rooms in the building well down to a view of lobby downstairs. The front desk of the hotel will be in the middle area of the lobby. The high windows around the area will keep the lobby well lit. The guests with cars may enter the hotel and will be taken to the parking in the basement. An elevator then takes the guests directly to the entrance of the lobby. The parking will be provided free of charge and a valet service will also be provided to help the guests with their parking needs. The main amenities provided by the hotel will be a 24-hour pool, fitness center, a business center, on-site laundry, ATM, and a shuttle service that will take people around the medical center. Coming over to the market information. The demographics for the Texas state. It is an overall growing market. Our market, however, falls into Houston, with the submarket being the medical center and the Lions Stadium. The land area is about 260,000 square miles. The population growth, the median household income, and the median house values growth rates are all well above the national growth rate. The demographics of the Harris County. The land is about 1,700 square miles. The growth rate for the population is near that of Texas. The median household income is close to that of the national rate, and the median house values growth rate is above the national growth rate. Coming over to Houston, we can see that the land area is about 600 square miles. The population growth rate is near to the national growth rate. The median household income growth rate is just 1% less than the national's growth rate. However, the median house value growth rate is high, which is very close to the growth rate of Texas. So here is an overview of the occupations in Houston. The majority of the people are employed in the management-related fields. The least are employed in the farming, fishing, and the forestry sector. The industries of US in comparison to Houston. We can see that Houston is thriving in educational and healthcare services. This is to be expected as the world's largest medical center is located over here. Let's talk about the neighborhood. In the surrounding locality, north of the subject property, we have a medical facility. There is Herman Park and Golf, and there is a music district. To the east of the property, we have Mainstay Suites, apartments, communities, and 288 South Freeway. To the south, we have the Energy Stadium and housing apartment communities, and I-610. To the west, we have Merritt Spring Hill and Suites and Hampton Inn and Suites.
Moving on, now we will discuss the supply and demand. The Houston Forecast Summary. By analyzing the current supply and demand trends of the present competitive market, we are able to assess the current standing of the market. And based on these assessments, the future demand and supply trends can also be made, which aid in making a better projection of the pricing and trends of the projected hotel. As you can see in the table below, that the occupancy trends as given by the Hotel Horizon report indicate an increase in occupancy for overall Houston from the year 2019 onwards. The occupancy increase is 1.6% per year. Moving on to Houston Medical Center trends. By looking at these changes over the years, it can be observed that the medical center occupancy has been declining over the last few years. This is due to the supply and demand gap created due to the oil business in Houston, which ended. Pipeline projects in the market. It is of importance to consider any new or proposed project in the area where the subject hotel is being built. The proximity of the sites to our project, new supply being added to the market, and a comparison to the demand. Based on this analysis, the study of data available, the following proposed projects are seen in the market of Houston Medical Center. These hotels will certainly add to the current supply, but are not in direct competition with the subject hotel, as these hotels are not on the same scale. If anything, these projects will be considered based on the proximity both to the medical center as well as to the subject hotel. According to the CBRE Americas research, the demand growth is increasing by 13.4%. Along with this, in the coming years, the occupancy and average ADR are also increasing. The economic summary of the CBRE Horizon report shows an increase in the annual income and employment rates of the population in the market of Houston. All these are indicators of increased demand in the area. Now we will move on to the discussion of the competitive. The competitive set was chosen based on the 4Ps given by the STR reports. All the hotels in the list are participating hotels with the STR. All hotels in the list are also in close proximity to the subject hotel. That is, they are located in the submarket of Houston Medical Center Reliant Stadium. The pricing for the competitive hotels is similar to that of the subject hotel plans to have, which is around $140. The hotels have rooms from around 186 to 287. They are all upscale to upper upscale chains. The first competitor that we have on the list is the Marriott Spring Hill and Suites. It has 190 rooms, 900 square feet of meeting space, 7 floors, and no restaurant. The second competitor is the Wyndham Houston Medical Center and Suites. It has 287 rooms, 300 square feet of meeting space, 12 floors, and a restaurant. The third competitor that we have on the list is the Hilton Houston Plaza Medical Center. It has 186 rooms, 7,500 square feet of meeting space, 19 floors, and a restaurant. Our fourth competitor is Holiday Inn Houston Reliant Park area. The hotel has 238 rooms, 2,320 square feet of meeting space, 11 floors, and a restaurant. The last competitor that we have on the list is the Courtyard Houston Medical Center. It has 197 rooms, 1,935 square feet of meeting space, 8 floors, and no restaurant. Moving on to the occupancy and average rate. The subject hotel is in Texas Medical Center and it is a location mostly visited by people who are seeking medical help. The seasonality of the hotel is not drastic and does not change too much over the months. The reason simply is that patients as well as the medical representatives travel to and from the area regardless of the time of the year. Any changes that we see in the occupancy are mostly due to the group dynamics when conferences or other events plus leisure trips are taking place in the area. The overall occupancy for the subject hotel is estimated to be at 64.8% in the third stabilized year. Now we will look at the seasonality of the business. The high or peak season for the subject property has an average monthly occupancy of 71.4%. It includes the month of February to May and October. During these months, given the weather of Houston, we have good weather conditions which definitely attracts travelers with leisure plans as well. The shoulder season for the subject property includes month of June, August, and November, and have an average occupancy of 60.8%. The low season comprising of January, July, September, and December with average occupancy of 59.8%. The 5-year projection of the proposed occupancy for the subject property is that in the first year we have 59.9% and it increases to the third year to 64.8% and then it stabilizes at 66.8% for the further 2 years. The average rates of the subject property start from $139.24 in the first year and increase up to $146.29 in the third year. The average rates are estimated and calculated by looking at the trend reports. The overall trend determines that the major business that the hotel will see comes from the transient customer, followed by group. As the proposed hotel aims at the transient business, the rates are set accordingly. The transient rates are higher than the group rate through the seasons. The graph below shows the various projected rates as per the mix of business. Now we will move on to the 5-year pro forma and IRR. The two main reports used to develop the pro forma for the projected hotel are the Trends Report 2017 by the CBRE and the Host Almanac 2016 by the STR. The forecast is also based on the assumptions made earlier related to the projected ADR and occupancy of the projected hotel. Assumptions. Inflation is a crucial factor in making any projection for a project. For this project, the inflation rates were determined by looking at the online document of Greater Houston Partnership. The assumptions on occupancy were made by examining the historical and forecasted occupancy trends in the city of Houston as well as the submarket of Medical Center Reliant Stadium. The occupancy was also determined by examining the mix of business and seasonality in the area. The assumptions on the average rate were made by examining the trend report of Houston Medical Center by STR. The competitive set was also used as a basis for making all the assumptions. In addition, the Hotel Horizon report of Houston was also used to see the change in the forecasted average rates over the coming years. The room's revenue was estimated by using the occupancy and average daily rates for the subject property. The subject property is to stabilize in the third year of operations with ADR of $146.29 and the occupancy of 64.8%. However, after the third year, the subject property sees further increase in ADR as well as occupancy. Like the increases given by the Horizon report, the food and beverage revenue for the proposed hotel is estimated at per occupied room basis. The generator of F&B revenue is mainly the restaurant and in-room dining. The expense calculation is done in three different ways: per occupied room basis, per available room basis, and as a percentage of revenue. The rooms department calculates its expenses on a per occupied room basis. For the administrative and general, information and technology, property and maintenance, utilities, and insurance, the expense calculation is based on a per available room basis. In the end, we have the sales and marketing and the property tax, which is calculated as a percentage of revenue. The management fees expense is 3% as per industry standard. The internal rate of return for the proposed hotel is a way of estimating the potential profitability of the business. For this project, the proposed hotel IRR is estimated to be 22.9%. For coming up with the internal rate of return, the land cost was estimated to be at $400,000 based on rates available in the proximity. Construction costs were estimated to be $150,000 per room, as the independent hotel will be an upscale hotel. The figures were taken from Cushman and Wakefield. The analysis of the 5-year pro forma, along with the internal rate of return, shows that the proposed project is feasible and shows a profitability over the 5-year planning. During the first 3 years of operations, the proposed hotel increases its revenues and cuts down on the expenses. Given the right circumstances, the proposed hotel is expected to sustain and derive its own supply and become as profitable as its competitors. This is all from our side. Thank you for listening.